All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to some more Black Desert patch notes. So today we had a pretty interesting update, and one of the events I wanted to talk to you about was the new offers from Patrigio. I think this is an interesting one that you guys should actually pay attention to because it gives some pretty good stuff. So with that said, this is an event that's been going around for many years, but this time they actually have notable rewards coming out or that you can buy. And so I wanted to talk about the value of how much these are actually worth and, you know, just general things you can get. So with that said, there's a lot of interesting items. First being the mythical sensor. As you guys know, anyone who's going for a tier 10 horse, you need the mythical sensor. I think it's not really about the silver when you're crafting one of these. It's more of the bottleneck of materials. So that's what the cost is. So when I got my tier 10s, the bottlenecks were really the mythical feathers. And I didn't really have an issue with the leaves that you get, like the 50 to 100 a week, the royal ferns. But yeah, it's one of those things. There's a forest path wagon. I feel like this is one of those things that it's good if you're training a horse, but if you, or multi-horse training, but if you don't care about that, then this is kind of irrelevant. And the Garmoth's horn, it turns into one of those Garmoth pets, right? That give you the plus 25 up to 100 HP. So I think that's situationally good. All right, so let's talk about the prices of everything, and I'll tell you if I think it's worth it. So the forest registration, basically the forest wagon, is 5 billion silver. Now let's look at this in game. I think they might have actually raised the price, so let's look at it. Forest path wagon. So the cap right now is 2 billion. I made mine myself because, you know, it's really hard to get it, but I think like if there's only 18 of them just sitting on the market, or like you could probably buy one. I don't know how long it'll take you to get it, but at least here on NA, there's not that many orders. So, like, I've made a video on how to actually get the forest wagon. It's not that hard. It's just really time consuming, and you kind of need a lot of CP if you are planning on speed powering through it. So the market offers it for 2 billion, and the thing you can buy from Patrigio is just straight up 5 billion. So, do I think it's worth buying it for 5 billion? Yeah, I think so. It's a little bit more, over 100% to double the value, but I think just not having to go through the at least 2-week process, or maybe 1 week if you power through it, is definitely worth it. 5 billion. Yeah, I think it's worth buying. Just know that if you have patience and you don't need it immediately, just put an order on the market and you can probably get it for 2 billion. All right, 150 stack for 3 billion. I'm not sure about this one. It really depends on how you build your fail stacks. If you guys have seen my videos, you could basically see how I build up to like 300 stacks. And there's also the, what is it? Origin of Dark Hungers that people do. So do I think 150 stack is worth 3 billion? I think so. If you are using it on some other, like, I guess it's situationally, if you're using it for upgrades for yourself, then it's probably worth it. If you're using it for profit, probably not worth it. So, yeah, depends on what you're using it on. And I think you can make a 150 stack a lot cheaper than 3 billion for sure if you're doing reblast clicks. But if you're just trying to play the game and you just want to self-craft everything, yeah, it's probably good to get. All right, choose your Krogdalo horse gear, the wind, earth, and sea boxes. So I don't know if this gives one piece or all of them. I assume it just gives one piece. So let's look at that on the market. Let's real quick. All right, so I personally have all 3 of them on my 3 different horses. So these are what you're looking at. So the wind one, it gives plus 5 AP to basically your entire party for an hour. The sea one gives HP and stamina, and the earth one is DR and evasion. Most people will choose wind simply because +5 AP is +5 AP, and you know, it helps you clear faster when you're grinding. So if you were to pick one of them, it would definitely be the wind one, in my opinion. Each piece is, I guess, like 1 billion silver, and so I guess the total would be around 5. So tips to create your Krogdalo set yourself is, if you're grinding for the infinite potion, like if you're going at Forest or Naros, if you're grinding, well, I guess, gathering in Navern Steppe and everything, make sure to pick up the daily quest, because you'll get a lot of the materials. And let me show you what they look like. So down here, you see these stone fragments and like the various colors. The wind one is for wind, obviously. Earth is earth, and water is the sea one. Chances are you actually do get a lot of wind ones from gathering for the mana potion. So yeah, just do that. It's probably, I would say, in my opinion, you get maybe like 100 or so an hour. I don't know. It could have been buffed or nerfed. I have no idea, actually. But if you were to get one of them, I would go for the wind first, and then, you know, the other two if you feel like you need it. But just know you can grind it. It's not that bad. The hardest part is probably going to be the leathers if you don't do gathering, but you can probably buy that off the market as well. So yeah, I don't know if this is one piece. If it's only one piece, it's not worth 3 billion. I can guarantee you that. But if it gives you like multiple pieces, it might be worth it. But one, no. All right, mythical sensor. This is for training tier 10 horses. You guys can see how I did it. I have a lot of videos and everything. Just know, if you have never done it before, it starts at 3% and goes up 0.2% every time. Is it worth 3 billion? In terms of material cost, no. Is it worth 3 billion to not go through the headache of having to remember to get all these items? Absolutely. I would pay 3 billion for it. So, purchase limit is 3. I think so. Garmoth's Horn, you could buy 3 of them. These are the pets for the Garmoth thing, which, let me teach you actually, guys, how to do this yourself. It's probably going to cost more, but you can guarantee it. So, you see this pet right here. This pet, it gives you 100 HP. So it starts at 25, I think, and then goes up by 25 per tier. So if you have a tier 4, it's 100. So the way to guarantee a tier 4 dragon pet is if you do the Nuverkint quest line. So basically you go to Bloodspawn Nuver multiple times and eventually get the outfit. You do get the pet along with it. So you get a tier 1. And then it's the dragon. And then because it's like a special, I don't know what type of pet it is actually. Let me... Yeah, okay, so it's a special. You can combine it with another special type pet. Like, I think if you had like one of the things, but at tier 4, you can basically instant it from tier 1 to tier 4 and the Nuver dragon pet with another special. So basically it's going to cost you around, I don't know, maybe 20-ish billion plus to guarantee it. But is it worth it for the 100 extra HP? I don't know. It's one of those things where you get an end game, to be honest. Or if you like the dragon pet, you can get it. So I assume if you're buying it off the Patrigio event, it's going to be tier 1. And I've never gotten one from a Garmoth drop, by the way. You do the Garmoth or the Nuverkint outfit quest line. You get the outfit, the title, the orange title, and you get the pet. Smash it with a tier 4, and you just have an instant tier 4. It's kind of expensive. It's one of those end game things, but if you want to do it, that's how you do it. I have a video on it. I'll leave it in the description so you can see how I did it as well. A 120 stack for 2 billion. No, this is not worth 2 billion. I'm not even sure if the 150 is worth 3 billion, but it's like it saves a headache of making it. But a 120, they kind of give these out like candy these days. So would I spend 2 billion on that? Probably not. Karanda statues, Arca, Nuver, basically boss statues. So these are housing items that you put in, like, you know, you just place it in your house and then you use the buff like 10 times. and it like lasts for 2 hours. So when you grind, it gives you a fat buff. Is it worth 2 billion? If you actually use all the durability, yeah, you will profit from it. But it's one of those active things where you actually have to grind, and then that's how you make the profit back. So yeah, I do think these are worth it, especially if you're grinding like end game areas. If you're just like buying it, I would hold it. Like if you're a not end game grinder and you make less than like 1 bill an hour, yeah, you would still profit, but you would kind of use the charges faster. So just keep them in your house. It doesn't hurt to buy them and then hold them on for later. And then I do think these are worth it. Or if you just like the housing furnishings and they look cool, then yeah, buy it. 100 stacks, 1 billion. I don't know, actually. I feel like I can make 100 stack cheaper, but these might be worth it. 100 for 1 billion. These are like standard entry level stacks to do everything. You can bulk it to like 110 to 115 or 113 plus. And then you just start your clicks from there. So for 1 billion, I think these are worth it. Don't know about that 2 billion one for 120, but a 100 for 1 billion is up. All right, the Pat pedal. Over the past 3 years, or like I don't know, a few years, you know how when you get the special mole from farming, you can just get those randomly? I think I've gotten like 8 of them over multiple years, so they are extremely rare. And I think it just makes a housing item if you get like 10 of them. So if you're close to buying them or like maxing out for the quest, yeah, it's worth buying. I don't really know how much value it actually is, but if you're close to finishing the quest line, you might as well just buy them. Masters stuffed thingies. So let's actually check this one. So it's a grass rhino thingy. Oh, let me see. Where are they? Furniture. The masters thingies that are selling right here. They are all less than 1 billion silver. However, some of them are sold out. These are the evasion, accuracy, and AP one. This is probably the most important. Yeah, there's a lot of orders. Plus 15 AP for 3 hours, and all of them are hard capped at 400 mil. So if you look at these, they're all 1 billion. Make sure to check the market and see which ones are sold out. If I were to give you a real estimate, I think the only one that's worth the 1 billion is the plus 15 AP for 3 hours. Everything else, I don't really think are worth it, or you could buy it off the market cheaper. So just keep that in mind. 90, 80, 70 stacks for 700, 500, and 300 mil. I would not do that. I can make 100 stacks like that. You guys have seen it in my enhancing videos. If you don't know how to build a stack, just watch my videos, and then it's easy. Would I buy them? No. Black and red leaves for the Orzeka set. I really don't think these are worth 200 mil. I understand the Orzeka outfit is like really old now. I guess it came out with Kama Sylvia, so that's probably like 4 or 5 years now. But I feel like most people can grind like Ash Forest or Crypt relatively fine nowadays. If this is 200 mil for 100, it's worth buying. If it's 200 mil and you have to buy 100 of them, it's not worth buying. So I don't know. It just depends on where you're at grinding. I feel like the red ones are probably going to be harder to get than the black ones in terms of grinding. Like, to give you an example, let me show you. Well, this is the first time they've actually ever sold it. But like, here is what I have. Like, I have 80 blacks and 7 reds. But with that said, I have the armor box, a helmet box, or 2 helmet boxes, and an armor box from grinding. So, yeah, just to give you an idea, the red one is significantly harder to get than the black leaves from grinding. All right, event, 100 Lila petals for 150 mil. Depends what you're going to do with it. If you're trying to upgrade your fairy, it's probably worth buying. If you are just trying to RNG slam it for profit and try to get, like, you know, the mythical feathers and the honey things to sell in the market, you might actually just break even or get less. So, I don't know. If I see that, I'll do an experiment. We'll make a video of it. But do I think it's worth it? I don't know, but we'll try it next time I see it. All right, transformation scroll can be exchanged for transformation scrolls into managed currency. I'll be honest, I don't know what that does. So I assume it turns you into like one of those like otter papu thingies, or the Halloween things that we've had over the years. Is it worth buying? I have no idea. 500 crow coins for 100 mil. I think that's worth it, actually, especially if you're going for a certain thing off bartering or sailing, and or trying to upgrade your gear for your boat. It's definitely worth buying. 50 mil for 5 perfume of courage. Each perfume of courage is 30 mil, so 150 mil value. You're buying it for 50. Easy buy. Sturdy forest treads. You can buy 10 of them, and they're 50 mil. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually know what those do. Does it make the wagon or something? Because if it does, we talked about my thoughts on the wagon, but I actually have no idea what it does, to be honest. I probably have used it, but I don't remember. Box of tier 9 horse materials. Apparently they are valued at like 20 mil, and you can buy 2 of them. So basically you get 10 of these for 20 mil, 2 mil each. They kind of give these out like candy these days, so is it worth it? I don't know. Probably not. I guess it depends on how much you actually need your horse, but yeah. Marnie unstable fuel. So essentially 2 mil each. I think these unstable fuels are 10 mil each off the old moon vendor. So I don't wait. Is it? I don't know. Either way, is it value if you need it? Yes. Radiant Shikatu seals. Yes, you buy these immediately. These seals will give you the big things you want. So in case you don't know, let me show you what those radiant seals do. You go over here. These radiant seals right here. These thingies. I'm personally saving up for the title because like all of these stuff, you don't really, most people won't need it. If you need the Garmoth's Horn, that might be worth it, but realistically, with the price of everything nowadays, the best thing to get is just straight up the title, or maybe a weapon exchange if you like re-rolling. But other than that, can't see too much value in most of them. All right, Giovanni Grolin support scrolls. These are the life skill scrolls that give plus 100 mastery. There are ways to get them for free by just doing some quests, and you can buy the thing in Heidel, where you just combine the loot scrolls plus the other things, the leaf, and you can get them for free. So are they worth 10 mil? I think they are absolutely worth buying, but just in case you don't want to buy it, there are ways to get it for free. Secret Books of Florin. So these are all like life skill, like buffs, and cooking and alchemy tools. Buy them if you need them. So yeah, that was an interesting set of items that they're selling. I hope I gave you like a realistic idea of how much things are actually worth and are they actually worth buying. So yeah, if you can actually get the, where is it? Yeah, the mythical sensor. This is the most value, absolutely. Followed by the forest path wagon for 5 bill, and then maybe the Garmoth's Horn is worth it. Just know it's going to be a tier 1 essentially, I think, and then you're gonna have to slam it to tier 4. Is it worth using at tier 1? No. But I told you how to get it to tier 4, so that's what matters. Overall, I think this is a pretty decent event. You just talk to Patrigio and then get the stuff. So, yeah, that's about it. So with that said, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you are new to your channel, hit that subscribe button. I would like to see you come back. We got some more updated videos to upload in the future, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.